Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hi, and welcome back to Importing Done Right. I am your host, Brendan Elias, and today what we're going to cover is the 7 steps to growing a successful importing business. Now, understand that just like any other business that you get into or any other system, to do it successfully, you must follow the blueprint, right? So every successful formula follows the blueprint. So what we're going to go through today is the exact formula that I've used, that my dad taught me, who imported Donkey Kong to my home country of Australia, made millions of dollars in the 70s, 80s, 90s importing, as have I selling my products online. And more importantly, students of mine, the over 20,000 students that I've taught in importing in the last 7, 8, 9 years, exactly what the blueprint is in this step. So all you need to do once you have a blueprint is just follow the exact system, the way that I've done it, the way my students have done it, the way I was taught to do it, and nothing else. So every successful formula follows a blueprint, and you can just relax, take a deep breath, 1, 2, 3, and know that if all you do is follow this blueprint, that you can have the same success in your importing business or career as all the other people who've succeeded and sold. And have a look around right now. You'll see that there is a screen. You'll see a table. You will see there is a glass. You'll see there is a map. I'm willing to bet that every single one of these items has been imported directly from countries like China. Right? The only exception may be the desk, but I bet you it is anyway. So all these products are done. Someone's making money. Well, guess what? It might as well be you. How? Well, let's talk about that. So the 7 steps to importing from China. What is the blueprint? So how do you grow a successful importing business? 7 steps to growing that business. The first thing is that we follow a proven system, right? We don't reinvent the wheel. We just do exactly what people have done before us, okay? The second thing is we make sure that we choose the right suppliers. When you go out there in the real world on places like Alibaba, Global Sources, MadeInChina.com, you're going to find that there are good suppliers and there are also bad suppliers. And the difference between them can be very subtle. And the difference between you making a lot of money or losing your entire capital. The next thing that you want to do is negotiate, but without negotiating, the same way that Bruce Lee taught the art of fighting, without fighting. And also once you've done that, you need to learn how to place your order. And the next step, of course, is that you inspect for the quality of your goods and you ship them to your home country. That could be anywhere. That could be the USA, it could be Europe, it could be Australia, it could be New Zealand. And then you sell the goods for massive profits if you've done your homework and your marketing. And once you've done that, then the next thing, instead of going to the Bahamas or the Maldives and partying in, say, Hawaii, and booking a helicopter tour of the big volcano and blowing your money on having a good time, that step 7 is that you take the profits and you reinvest, and that is how you grow the business. Think about a seed that you pour water on and help it sprout. If you hide it from sunlight and you don't feed it water, then your business, just like the tree, will not grow and sprout into a burgeoning empire. So let's go through the 7 systems, 7 parts of the system, one by one. Okay, so the very first thing that you need to do is follow a proven system. You want to model success and just do what the person before you has done without trying to do it differently. Don't reinvent the wheel. Look, there is a reason why wheels are round and they're not square. The first person who invented a square wheel found that he didn't get very far. Whereas the smart person wasn't the person who invented the wheel, but the second person who copied him. Because he had the advantage, or she had the advantage, of following a proven system without putting in all the work. Understand there is a thing called a second mover advantage. And the second mover advantage is that you can see something that is successful, that you can model and replicate. And that is the advantage of today's day and age, is there is so much information and knowledge out there that if you can find those who've actually succeeded and copy what they've done, then you can have the exact same success, whoever you are, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're young, whether you're old, right? Whether you're tech savvy or not tech savvy, if you can replicate and role model and emulate those who've come before you've had the success that you want, then you can do this business just like anyone else. So who are people that are successful? Well, you have in Australia, my home country, people like Bing Lee, Harvey Norman, JB Hi-Fi, who've bought from China and sold online in physical stores. You have people like Kogan who've bought from China and sold directly to the public online. If you go to places like New Zealand, you have the Warehouse. If you go to the USA, you have your Costco, you have your Best Buys, you have your Walmarts. All these people, all these companies have done one thing in common. They've bought from a country like China where they've negotiated a good price, and then they sold that directly to a customer. And that's it. So what is the proven system? Well, there are three things that you should focus on in terms of following the proven system. The first thing is you want to pick items that have a high margin, right? So don't pick toothpicks, paper clips, and toothbrushes that sell for 5, 10, 15 cents when you can do high margin products, right? Like motorcycles, like refrigerators that sell for $100, $200, $300, right? So pick items that have a very high margin, okay? The next thing, of course, is a high ticket item, like the ones I've just mentioned, where you don't necessarily sell something very cheap and sell it for more, but you sell something that is expensive, right? That might cost you $100, $200, $300 just for one unit, or even $50, so that you can bring in and sell and make a lot of money. And the third thing is that you must buy products and sell products that you have tested the market, that in demand. So if you're selling them online, then you need to make sure that you've done the research. If you're selling on eBay, you need to have gone into completed listings and seen that the product is not just listed, but that it actually sells. Use product programs like Terapeak, or if it's on Amazon, use AS Inspector to check exactly where the BSR or the bestseller rating is and see if it's a product that's actually moving. The other thing you want to do, of course, is check that you can actually buy AdWords for it if you're going to sell it through your own website, and what those costs of AdWords will be. Have a look at Google Trends and see whether the product is trending upwards or downwards. And these are very critical things that you need to make sure that you've done before you can start the process. So once you've done that, you've picked the right product, right? You figured out how you're going to market online, and you've followed the proven system. Remember, it's very simple. It's buy low, sell high, right? Costco, the Warehouse, Best Buy, Bing Lee, JB Hi-Fi, Kogan, all these companies, and doesn't matter where you're from in the world, there are companies just like these, have followed this system, and all you need to do is do it as well. So now let's move to step 2, making sure that you choose the right suppliers. So how do we make sure that we choose the right suppliers? Well, you need to go where the right suppliers are. If you have a pen and paper, get a pen and paper out, write these down. If you're driving, then come back to this spot and remember these. So Alibaba.com is where you can find literally thousands of suppliers, tens of thousands of suppliers who are there to sell you their products that you can buy. You can go to madeinchina.com, you can go to globalsources.com. These are all websites, legitimate websites that have the products that you need that you can import directly and sell. Right? And Alibaba and Made in China and Global Sources will have more suppliers than you will ever need. But you've got to make sure that you use the right suppliers and stay away from the scammers. The next thing you do is make sure that you use proven templates, so that when you communicate with the factory, you've got to come across as an expert. If they get a whiff that you've never done this before, that this is your first time, then they're not going to be that interested. They're going to jack up the prices and they're going to give you crap quality. Remember, there are 2 prices the factory gives. They give you the Western price or they give you the Chinese price. Which one do you want? Of course, you want the Chinese price, not the Western price. And wherever you are in the world, they'll give you the local American price or the Aussie price. You want the Chinese price if you're buying from China or that local market. Okay, that's how it's done, and that's the way you need it to be done. And the way you do that is by using proven templates, right? Either create your own, or have some research, or look online for what proven templates are available to you. I provide, of course, those to my students, which I teach, and that's just a proven template that my dad taught me that I've used for the last 17 years. Next thing, of course, is that you want to make sure that you remove the most expensive and the least expensive factories. So if we have this product here, and it's selling, of course, for $10, $10 from one factory, another factory $9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We remove the ones at $9 and $10 because that's too expensive. But the next thing we do is we do work with the ones that are within above $2, right? If we buy the ones that are $1 and $2, what you're going to find invariably is that they're going to be overcharging you elsewhere. So if they're undercharging you on the product itself, they're going to overcharge you on the materials. So instead of it being brass, you may end up with something like tin. Okay? And they will shortchange you on the materials and the product. So just going to give you some example of some of the products that you can bring in. So just from my result, the very first thing that I ever did when I started importing back in 2001 was I bought these items. So I bought these as DVD players back in the day. I went on Alibaba. I bought 100 of them for $30. I sold them for $80. I made a profit of $50, right? And that's a total profit of $5,000. Now, what do we do with the profits? Do we go to Las Vegas and book a hotel room in the Bellagio Hotel in the penthouse suite and then take the change and spend it on roulette on the number 13, which is my birthday? Do we go to Hawaii and book a helicopter tour of the big volcano? Or do we reinvest it? And that's, of course, the secret to successfully importing business is you take the money and you reinvest it. So now what we're going to talk about is the third step, which is where you negotiate without negotiating. Now, I'm a big fan of Bruce Lee, who is the martial art expert. And what Bruce Lee taught was the art of fighting without fighting. If you're doing it right, negotiating isn't where someone starts at 100 and then the other person offers 10 and then they say 80 and then they say 30 and then it's 60, then it's 40 and they meet in the middle at 50. That's not how it works. That is effortful, stressful negotiation. If you're doing it right, it should be effortless. So what you need to do is simply play the positioning game. If, say, for example, Donald Trump walks into a room, people are automatically going to give him the best deal because
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.